at the Warfield, where once MGM was kind of on the skids, and he decided to have a really big premiere at the Warfield. They showed some really horrible movie as a sneak preview, but the people who came were Ava Gardner, Debbie Reynolds, Peter Lawford, about 24 smashingly, wonderful stars coming with the lights all going like this. And so I in those days was a real fan of Ava Gardner. And I guess all the men were. And so after it was all over, I went up to the cashiers who had this little cashier thing in the middle of the entrance, and I said, "Oh my God," I said, "it's just so amazing. That woman is so beautiful." And the cashier said to me, "Daniel, they're falsies." You know what that is? They're not real, Daniel. I thought, I don't think I was interested in whether they're real or not. But that was such a great time. And I look for the renaissance of the Tenderloin, and I know the folks in the Community Benefit District and the groups around here are trying to create a community that can celebrate the arts, that can celebrate people and communities. And the other big thing for me, walking down the streets of the Tenderloin, is to look at the kids. From Wu Yi in particular, I always feel safe when the kids from Wu Yi are walking up and down the street. They're about 4 years old. They're being led by by the person in charge, and I thought, what a transformation would happen to the Tenderloin if about every half hour somebody took 15 kids and just walked down the street. And I've announced at meeting after meeting after meeting that the solution for the difficulties in the Tenderloin will not come from us, will not come from the service providers, it will come from the residents who live here. I stood up once at a meeting with the police and the residents of the 201 Turk, and I said, I just think it'd be great in the Tenderloin if every afternoon about 3 o'clock, the families would come out in the street and put up a card table and a couple of chairs and get some jacks or some dice for the kids to play on the sidewalk. And I said, if we had that kind of community in the Tenderloin, that we wouldn't need so many police, that we'd have a community that could empower, could recognize its own power to make a community. The police cannot do it for us. So I am going to continue to come into the Tenderloin. I will be going to the Marlton Manor. I'm not going to be doing a lot of work, but I hope that I can create a kind of presence again that will encourage us to say, the neighborhood belongs to the people, and let's come outside and walk in the afternoons, whatever. Anyhow, I can go on for hours like that, but I so love working here. I so loved working and being given, they never really told me how to do much. I became a chaplain, and they didn't tell me what to do. And so we had to sort of figure it out. We wanted a diversity committee, so, nobody said how to do it, so we had to create it. And there were always the groups of people around who could create it, as Francis was one of those folks who helped us to do some really wonderful events. So I really want to belong to the neighborhood in some way. I don't know how yet. The big salvation for me is I won't have to make reports about what I do at the end of every month. That was the worst part. Partly because if I didn't write it down, I wouldn't know what had happened. So I could say, gee, I went to one of Michael's meetings, and I didn't have a pen or something, and I left, and I wouldn't know what had happened. So, but my wife is very good at helping me to remember. And I'm going to a place in our neighborhood that's called Vibrant Brains. and they help you to recover your memory or to learn how to do things. So I do lots of exercises trying to keep my memory because I don't want to lose it. And I do not want to lose a moment of the time that I have spent here.